Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about Churchill Capital. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. So today we're going to be doing a video about Churchill Capital. Is Churchill Capital stock a good buy at $24.85? My overall price prediction, and why I actually think Churchill Capital right now is a very good time to buy the stock. Why I think the stock is going to be worth it in the long term, and why people should not sleep on this company. So if you guys haven't seen, Churchill Capital definitely has seen its better days. I mean, if we take a look at the 1 month chart, as you guys can see, it's down 22% of its value. Stock was trading pretty close to about $60. And then ever since the merger with Lucid Motors was announced, the stock kind of just happened to slowly fall down. If you guys don't know what Lucid Motors actually is, Lucid Motors is an EV company that's based out of California. And I honestly think that Lucid Motors is going to be the next big thing. The reason I say this is because I do think that Lucid Motors does have a lot to bring to the table. Now, it's not just a push off kind of EV company. It's not coming to the game with just kind of a game plan like some of these other EV stocks have been doing, or other EV companies who just kind of go public with more of an idea rather than actually having the production. And the cool thing is Churchill Capital actually already has factories built up. They have a factory in Arizona. They're building a factory in Saudi Arabia. And so, the company is going to start selling cars here pretty soon. They haven't sold any cars yet. From what we do know, the company does have 10,000 reservations. So that means that there's already people online getting ready to buy their car. And I believe they're going to start selling the Lucid Air, which is the name of their vehicle, this spring. But the reason why I think Churchill Capital is a very good buy at $24.86 is because the company does have a lot of upside potential. Obviously, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, and I can understand where people are coming from. The fact that, the company hasn't sold anything just yet. But, I mean, if we really dive in and we take a look at how the EV market in itself has actually been doing, the EV market is a very explosive market, and it's probably going to be a market that's going to be growing for a very long time. A lot of the EV companies that are now sitting at their all-time highs, once traded around these prices, I don't want people to be discouraged because Churchill Capital is sitting so low. I know people who bought the share at $50, $60, $45, stuff like that, are kind of sitting with higher averages. But if you're truly bullish on the company in the long run, it really should not matter what the current stock price is sitting at. For me, I see so much long-term value with Churchill Capital. I know that the EV market is going to be exploding over the next 5 to 10 years, not just in the United States, but all around the world. We even got a recent look at Chinese car sales data, and, EV car sales are through the roof. So I expect the United States to be the exact same. I know that we're going to definitely see a sudden increase in EV car sales. Now that Lucid Motors is now coming to the game, it's definitely going to set some competition for Tesla. In case people wanted to know what my current position is in Churchill Capital, I currently own 200 shares at an average cost of $20.27. And I also like to sell covered calls on it as well. I do think that the stock is absolutely worth it. I do think people should actually invest in it. I mean, even their car, it's very technologically advanced. 517-mile range, 1,080 horsepower. It's faster than a Tesla, and Lucid Motors is coming to the game swinging. So I'm very excited to see what Lucid Motors actually is going to be bringing to the table. But I do want people to understand as well that Churchill Capital is going to be a longer term hold. I don't want people to be impatient or kind of look on the trading of the intraday, how the stock has been doing. Because if we actually take a look at it, the last week, the stock hasn't really been doing much. It's up 4%, but it's just kind of been trading sideways. And this is a consolidation period because Lucid Motors now has to be able to prove itself. But with the expansion of the EV market and the explosive growth that we've been seeing, I don't think growing for Churchill Capital is actually even going to be a problem. I know that Lucid Motors is going to be growing very, very quickly, and I know that their car sales are going to be up very, very quickly. I'm very curious to see, where Lucid Motors could be 1 year from now. I don't want people to discount the stock just because it sank from $60. Yes, I can understand it's left a bad taste in some people's mouth. It's left a bad taste that some people don't really want to touch the stock altogether. And I can understand that, the stock going from $60 all the way down to $24, probably people lost a lot of money on that. And I can understand why the overall hesitation would be there. But if we take a look at it from a bigger perspective, and only the real perspective is, look how fast the EV market is growing, and really look how much it's going to be growing over the next 5 to 10 years. People are already planning to try to make everything all electric. Even, President Biden is all for electric and stuff like that. And I know people do talk about like chip shortages and stuff like that. But for me, looking really of what Lucid Motors is going to offer, like I said, they have $1 billion funding from Saudi Arabia. They're building a factory there as well. And there's a lot of big time investors who are picking up the stock like crazy. Like all the big time investors, the big time banks like Goldman Sachs and all these big time companies. because they know that this stock is going to be worth a lot over the next couple of months, or maybe even over the next couple of years. So my overall price prediction, where do I think Lucid Motors is going to be headed by the end of the year? I'm very curious to see how they actually do on their sales. Sales is a very big thing, especially when it comes to the stock market, because people want to see how the company is actually going to be doing. Is it overvaluated? Is it undervaluated? Should we be buying more of this stock, or should we really be selling it? But for me, I don't think it's ever going to be a problem. I think Lucid Motors is absolutely going to do just fine. I think Lucid Motors is definitely going to step up to the plate. So my overall price prediction for Churchill Capital or Lucid Motors by the end of the year is actually $75. I do think, it's kind of a high price target, but like I said, people don't really know the explosive growth of what these EV markets can actually do, or these EV stocks in itself. I mean, if we take a look at Tesla and NIO, just yesterday they rallied 20%, out of nowhere, just because off one factual sales data. So it goes to show, that these stocks are very explosive. They have the power to grow very significantly and very quickly. The fact that Tesla stock grew $100 in just one day alone goes to show, that people are still bullish on the EV market, but that's not going to change. There's no people who are kind of changing their overall perspective on the EV market, because they know that these stocks are going to be growing for a very long time. So I do think Churchill Capital is going to be hitting $75 by the end of the year. I'm very curious to see how they actually do on their sales. But I mean, a big time EV company that's very well established. It's got factories, it's got funding, it's got big time investors behind it, currently sitting at $24.84. To me, it looks like an absolute steal. And I tell people time and time again, yes, the EV market has pulled back a little bit, but this is the perfect opportunity for people to be picking up stocks that they normally wouldn't be able to pick up before. A lot of people were like, I wish I bought Churchill Capital, Lucid Motors, NIO, Tesla when it was cheaper. Now's the opportunity, and people are still sitting on the sidelines hoping for kind of more of a discount. Lucid Motors is going to be a big time EV company. Do not sleep on Lucid Motors. I know it's going, like I said, it's already well established, and I know it's going to do very, very well for itself, and I know it's going to bring a lot to the table. I think people should buy Churchill Capital stock at $24.84. I absolutely think it is absolutely worth the investment. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comments below, guys, what you think of Churchill Capital stock. Do you guys think Churchill Capital stock is worth a good buy at $24.84?